Hello, I'm Gunars Valkirs. I'm the owner and CEO of Maui Ku Estate Chocolate.
I'm Dan O'Doherty, Vice President of Operations for Cacao and Chocolate.
Before I start tasting chocolate, I cleanse my palate. Usually I just use room temperature water to do that. Room temperature water is important because for chocolate to properly melt in the mouth and to get the full flavor, your mouth can't be cold. So if you're using cold water, the chocolate won't melt properly. So it's very important to not use cold liquids to cleanse your palate. And the simplest one is room temperature water, so that's what I tend to prefer.
The first step of evaluating chocolate, is to open the package and look to see the care at which it was tempered and molded, whether there's bubbles or irregularities in the surface, swirl marks, or a light whitish color indicating bloom.
I began generally to look at the chocolate to see how dark it is, so I can immediately tell whether it's a dark chocolate or it has less cacao in it, perhaps a milk chocolate because the milk will give it a lighter color. So that'll tell me immediately, what level of cacao am I dealing with here, and that sort of starts my process, my evaluation process.
Pre-warming it in the finger, maybe rub your thumb on it a little bit and smell the volatiles, and there is a huge difference in what you smell and what you taste. Some chocolates have very low aroma, but when they melt in your mouth, it tastes very different.
When I first put chocolate in my mouth, I do chew it briefly so that it will melt more quickly. And it's during that time that you actually get your first impression, even before it fully melts, because things like sugar content will be readily evident, or if it's a fruity chocolate, some of the fruit components will immediately be perceived during the first 10 seconds of tasting. And later on, as it melts in your mouth, which can take a minute or more, you'll get the full flavor effect, but you'll get a first impression in the first 10 seconds.
A good chocolate will have like a real beginning, middle, and end. As when it finally melts down and starts to dissipate, you're left with this lasting aroma and the perception of the slightly acid but pleasant fruitiness. And one of the last things usually when I notice is how much bitter and how much astringency is left. And this fades with just a little bit of astringency and kind of a balance, but low bitter. At least with room temperature water, I think officially it's more agreed that you should have some sort of a cracker followed by a water rinse before tasting if you're really doing it as a formal event, but a lot of times we're tasting it.
I'm going to be tasting our dark milk chocolate, and this is not a particularly high percentage of cacao, so it's light colored. When I smell it, I smell some of the, I think I'm smelling the milk chocolate. There's some light chocolate notes, but then I'm sensing there's something else besides just cacao in here. So my immediate perception in the first 10 seconds is this is very creamy, so that confirms it's a milk chocolate. It's not particularly sweet, and our dark milk chocolate does not have a lot of sugar in it. It's only 20% sugar. Now I'm getting a very broad base chocolate flavor with some acidity, but not a lot of acidity. So it's and now some caramel notes are coming on. So the advantage of using dried milk is, in particular, the dried milk that we use, is it has a caramel, imparts a caramel flavor to the chocolate because of the way the milk is dried. And that, I really like the combination of caramel and chocolate. And so this particular formulation brings out, the best of what the milk can provide to the chocolate.
So I'll taste a bar of Hawaii grown chocolate that instantly does have a base cocoa flavor and a little bit of fruit acidity. It's a very fast melt, which is typical of Hawaiian chocolate because of the climate affects the percentage and type of cocoa butter. And first I taste roasted and like base cocoa flavors, but very quickly it starts to evolve into a bit of a dried fruit, raisin or plum note.
Well, we look forward to seeing everyone at the Chocolate Factory in our retail store, where you can not only see what's going on in the factory, but you can enjoy tasting whatever is available on that day.